Hey Jesus, how's it going? Not too bad. Not too bad. Just kind of checking stuff. Trying to level up a different class. I'm actually doing a gunslinger. What are you saying for right now? Yeah, I kind of got stuck when I first got this game. I kind of it kind of put me into this class. I didn't realize that I can change it during character select. But that wasn't the class that I wanted to upgrade first. I wanted to do the what class was it again? Exterminator class, because I wanted the Molotovs. But now I figure I'd start to continue on with this, try to get more experience, try to get all these classes going. I think after this I will do Fixer. I think this one has the stun gun. I'm not too sure. Or is it Slasher? Yeah, I'm gonna try to do Slasher next because I want to do the stun gun. But what are you saying for right now?
MLRS barrages dug in on the salt.
I know it says hard mode. I'm playing it on easy for a little bit. I just want to try to get a few perks for this class, and then I'll probably switch it over to hard, just to get more points, more experience that way. Yeah, yeah, I can imagine. I had that yesterday. I had a teammate that was actually shooting me, and it got to the point of where I was like, okay, you know what? I'm done with this team. I'm just gonna troll them, and that's what I ended. That's in my last broadcast. That's exactly what I did. I ended off just trying to kill my own teammates, just because they were just, I don't know, they were not good at all. And that one guy kept on like throwing grenades my way, and I was just like, what the heck? Like, we're supposed to be teammates, and you're killing your teammates. And it's like, why are you doing that? But if you're ever looking for a teammate to play with, I mean, you can always, if you want, you can send me a friend request. I'm totally down with stuff like that. Cause I'm looking for a good team to play with, but it's so hard to find people in here. Oops, I shot my own teammate.
Bull's gonna charge.
Oh, you're on Xbox? Oh, okay. Oh, is this guy dancing with me? What are you doing? Yeah, if they had a cross-platform for this, that'd be really good.
Elevator's on its way.
But I don't know if they do that.
Going down.
Oh, there's a bull right in there.
Grenade is loaded.
Oops.
Thanks.
That was supposed to go in the elevator.
Simple but effective. Stay sharp. We got a creeper.
Oh, he's over there. Not gonna bother with him.
Get in here. We stay together.
Yeah, 'cause I got another buddy that plays this, and it's usually me and him.
We're headed down. Out of food. Gotta
We're
go
kind
now.
of
You
stuck
coming?
with two other
Over.
people, but
I got food and booze for a month. Jawheads will be here by then. I'm gonna wait it out, but I'll keep an eye out for you.
yeah, that'd be pretty awesome if you do. You know, like I said, I'm down to set up a group because I love killing zombies. It's like one of my favorite games besides Resident Evil. But like, I mean, I've completed Resident Evil so many times that I kind of got bored of it. So I wanted to try something new, and then once this came up, I was like, I was waiting for this game to come. But yeah, like, you know, like you, it's really hard to find certain people.
They're climbing on each other.
You guys
Hit the
okay?
bottom.
I'm hearing a lot of action from your way.
We take out enough of them. Taking care of. Get down the elevator shaft.
Yeah, Killing Floor I like too. I platinumed that game, so I'm kind of like on the fence now. Besides like getting all the DLC trophies for it, but it's almost the same. Like, it's so hard to find like good people to play with.
Loading ammo.
Stop shooting.
Yeah, somebody needs to get rid of that
Found the
screamer.
screamer. Gas that gone. Gas that. Reloading. That spotted that screamer.
Stay together. Creeper's close.
Oh man, I'm out of ammo. Yeah, like I said, if you ever do get this game for PS4, you know, let me know. I'm down to play with anyone that actually wants to set up a team for this.
Simple but effective.
Cause I'm exactly like you. I'm kind of sick and tired of like how certain people do play in this, and they don't play as an actual squad. And I mean, it does get quite annoying.
Okay, I'm good.
I'll take what I can get.
No noise.
Stay sharp. We got a creeper.
Oh, same gun.
Guys, I'm seeing a swarm coming straight for you.
Oh, shit. Where?
Right down Broadway.
Came out of nowhere.
Oh, nice. Thank you very much.
Electric grid is juiced up.
What's in here?
Stay together. Creeper's close.
Yeah, I love multiplayer games playing with like friends. Like I said, I only got like one buddy that I normally that loves to do the exact same, get multiplayer games and just do this. But sometimes he gets really lazy, so it's really hard to find. It's really hard to find people
Eyes
to
open, we
like
got a hider.
team up and game together, hang out. Have fun doing the things that we like to do, which is gaming. I like broadcasting, but, I'm not a mainstream streamer. I just like to broadcast just to give people content and, hope people enjoy that.
Grenade is live!
Damn it, what's wrong with my throwing today?
Bullet gone.
Just stuff like that. Like I don't do Patreon. I don't believe in like, having people pay for stuff like this. I just want to give good content, let people enjoy it. And, it's nice that I can reach people that actually enjoy this and enjoy the same things that, I enjoy. And, if they're down to game, I'm down for that too, It just adds more to the fun. Oh, I mean,
I need help!
it's a gaming aspect. Like, I love gaming.
I need...
I'm taking this for school, and
Hazmat down.
I just love this. It's something to help me relax after work, and if I can provide content to people, I love doing that too. Oh, this guy's got murked down
Who
here.
wants more?
You okay, buddy?
Loading ammo.
There's enough for everybody. Stay together. Creeper's close.
We should go before there's more. Dan, is the street clear to the subway?
Looks good from here. If you're gonna do this, go now.
Let's take care of this. Better time. Over.
Reload!
Better times. Over and out.
Raise the gate. Here we go.
Like, I play a lot of games. A lot of games that I like are like
Back now.
a lot of fantasy or horror games. I love horror games. I love the entire survival aspect of it.
Get to the subway.
And I've always had that, that type of dream of sort of creating survival horror games. But life gets in the way at times, so it's a little hard. So I guess this is my only way that I can bring out my content is by like playing, hopefully getting people that watch,
Loading ammo!
It's coming from the platforms.
but, I watch a lot of, like other streamers, a lot of people that,
Clear the train. Hey!
do speed runs and stuff like that, but I mean, they're okay. I try not to do stuff like that.
Get back here, Sally. Who the hell just shot at my train?
But I find it more fun to play with people
It's him.
and game with people.
Oh, my reputation precedes me.
So I always
Can
try to
you
keep
drive
an eye
this
out
thing?
for stuff like
The
that.
ride ain't free, dear. This rabbit hole is chock-a-block with goodies. Bring them to me.
Yeah, ADS was good.
Where are you hiding, Creeper?
No, damn it. Okay, teammates.
This goddamn thing!
Teammates. Thank you.
I'm okay.
But for like NES, I haven't seen too many speed runs or too many games played for that. I've mostly been watching more current stuff. Like I've been watching a guy do Days Gone. I was thinking that was kind of interesting, watching him play it. That's probably going to be another game I'm going to try to pick up after I get like Devil May Cry and Sekiro and start broadcasting those games, because I love From Software. Yeah, it's actually it reminds me of like RDR2, but with like like a more horror aspect, and like The Last of Us. That's another game I'm looking forward to. The Last of Us 2, I can't wait till that comes out.
I did what you said.
Fear is the disease. Hustle is the antidote. Find more.
Like any type of game like that, I think it's like super good to like try to broadcast and stuff.
Stay together. Creeper's close.
But
Found a
the only
box.
problem is
Bringing it back to the
it's
train.
it's so hard to like broadcast stuff like that, because like all the mainstream streamers are already streaming stuff like that, so a lot of people see them. Plus they got their following too, right? So a lot of people do see that, and like I said, I'm not mainstream or anything. I don't do this as a job. I do this
Who's gonna charge?
based on fun. Rage 2, it looks good. I'm
Bull's finally
interested in seeing what it's like. It reminds me a lot of Borderlands, though. Borderlands and what's that other game? It's like a really destructive game where you can destroy buildings and stuff like that. Maybe a little bit of Twisted Metal in there, which is also interesting, but I never really got into racing games.
Let's go.
Fear is the disease.
But it looks fun. It
Hustle
reminds
is
me
the
of like
antidote.
Mad
Find
Max,
more. We good?
Mad Max style games.
Coming aboard.
Stay sharp. We got a creeper.
Which I think would be like really interesting to see, but at the same time it all varies, right?
loading ammo. Eyes open. You gotta have it.
Last chance.
Boss is down.
Yeah, there's a lot of good games. A lot of the good games are coming out right now.
Making too much noise. They're gonna come.
Like Devil May Cry is,
Do you wanna try?
you know, a good game. Sekrio's a good game. Resident Evil 2 is a great game. Pretty soon from their fame of Resident Evil 2, there's gonna be Resident Evil 3. I think they're remaking everything all the way up until 6,
Crazy son of a bitch.
which is gonna be good.
Crazy son of a bitch with a train!
What else? There's Days Gone that just came out. Mortal Kombat just came out, which is also really, really good. They really made the game for fans. Unfortunately, a lot of good characters are not in the game. But still, like they're how do I say this? They're sort of bringing back like older games back into it. Yeah, story mode is like it looks super good. And like I said, like they really thought about the fans and the people that have been supporting Mortal Kombat for so many years that it's almost as if they did the game for us, which is really nice and really good, because most gaming companies don't really do that. And another thing too, like, I mean, like the whole conspiracy with microtransactions and all that garbage that EA has been doing and stuff like that, and certain other companies like Bethesda, and it got really bad for gaming last year and this year. So it's really nice that certain companies are, trying to stay clear from that and really look towards the fans. And that's something that, we've been missing. Like Capcom has been getting into that, which is really good. They've been, ever since they started redoing like Street Fighter, they started bringing out more content for fans and giving out certain things, which is really good. And they really showed that within Resident Evil 2, and how they're remaking everything. Mortal Kombat, another realm. After Injustice 2, they started doing that, which is also really great. So those are like really good games that I'm actually trying to work on getting. DOA 6 is also a good game, but at the same time, it's like, there's a lot of stuff towards it, but it varies. It really depends on what you like and what you think is fun. So, but certain games I like games like that. I like survival games. I've always been addicted to survival games. So a majority of the stuff that I do content on is based off of survival, like Hellblade, Resident Evil 2, Darksiders, Darksiders 3. I want to try to get Devil May Cry so I could start showing some of that. Even though a lot of people have shown that, like I said, it's hard to broadcast games and sort of get people to see the content, because mainstreamers are already playing it on PC, right? So it's hard to get people to watch certain games, or be like the first to show certain games. As I've been like watching on YouTube, a lot of people are doing now, like Days Gone, Sekiro. Not too much of Devil May Cry. I did see a few people play it, like Maximilian Dude shows that game, but now that Mortal Kombat came out, like everybody has jumped onto Mortal Kombat and start showing off story for Mortal Kombat and stuff like that. So I think, you know, getting into Devil May Cry might be good to show some of that content.
Well, it appears my associate on the other side of this door is either passed out.
Same thing with Sekiro, but I mean that's just the way that it is. You know what I mean? Like, if I had like a big following, I'm pretty sure, you know, everything would be good for that. But like I said, I'm not in it for competing with them or anything like that. I'm in it for like a fun factor. I like to have fun. I like to have fun with, you know, if people that do watch my stream, I like to have fun with them. Sometimes I broadcast Dead by Daylight, and I game with people that have watched my stream. So, you know, it's the same thing too, you know, it's hard to find like a good team that you can communicate and try to survive with, and, you know, just generally having fun, right?
There's multiple switches to open them. Some of them are on timers. Have fun.
Cabrón.
Check around for the switch.
Yeah, you try to repair generators to get out, and then once you get the generators done, you're able to leave. But yeah, it has multiple survivors, multiple killers. It is, but they've done a lot of changes to it, so it's kind of like on the fence. They've done so many changes to the game that it's almost like breaking the game to an extent.
We got another gate in here.
But
keep your eyes open for a switch.
But you know, it is good. They're just bringing out dedicated servers because a lot of people have been quitting. A lot of killers have been quitting. A lot of killers, ping is, you know, not the greatest, so you lag a lot. So I don't know if that's because of cross-platform or what, but it's been up and down. The game in the beginning was like really good, but now that they've been doing a lot of changes, it's you kind of gotta wait and see. I think next month, when they bring out the new killer, or what is it? I don't know if it's this month coming, but the next month, I think in June, another killer is going to be coming, and they're actually going to be bringing dedicated servers. So right now they're sort of testing it and seeing how it is, but it still has like a lot of problems. A good person to watch that is like Noob3. He does a lot of Dead by Daylight, and you actually see, like, right now he's playing on the dedicated servers because he does like the PTB for them. And, you know, he shows you what problems are still arising and what needs to be changed. Like, hitboxes for the killers are, like, insane.
Moving forward.
So, it's very up and down.
No roof. I don't like it.
Stevie, we're in the hub.
Oh, my little hatchlings have reached the sea! There are 2 control rooms.
But I like playing it sometimes.
Here they come!
guy's open. You gotta hide her. Loading ammo. Creeper.
What's DTD? Oh, okay, so, no, I haven't played that game, only because it reminds me a bit of, like, Minecraft, and I really don't like the style of Minecraft.
Got some defenses.
But I have watched a lot of people, play it. Like, I watched, like, Markiplier, and, Lord Minion 777, like, I watch him play it.
Get the engine running. Oh, I guess you'll have to buy them without me.
Yeah, I feel like, for, like, younger kids and stuff like that, I mean, it's great, right? And if you play, I mean, if you get it and you love playing the game with them, I mean, that's, you know, then, yeah, I can see myself, playing that and, you know, having fun playing that, but I don't have a lot of people that would play that, or, you know, I don't have nephews that play that, or anything like that, so I really can't relate towards it. But I mean, if I did, you know, I would probably get it and play it. Just because, like, I do like sandbox games. Like, I have Conan, and I mean, the one thing that I like playing in the game, even though you know, I haven't beaten the game, but I've done a lot in the game. But I like the building aspect of it. So I like to build a lot of things. I like to, you know, build, like, almost like castles and stuff like that, or, just like stuff like that. I like to do. So that's normally what I do for that game. Is I'm more into building rather than, you know, completing with the game or anything like that. But, you know, then again, playing Conan is, you can, it's literally a broken game, to the fact of where you can become the mod, and you can, you know, create your own modifications for it. And you don't really have to farm anything. I did in the beginning. I used to farm everything. I would have to, like, try to find my slaves to help me craft stuff, and, you know, I was doing everything legit for the beginning part of it, but after I found out that you could become the moderator and stuff like that, I kind of switched, and then I kind of fell out of the game, and I was just like, you know what, I just feel like building. So I would just build, and I would just spawn everybody in, and spawn my materials, and, you know, try to create, like, massive castles that would be, like, you know, almost as big as, like, an entire valley. I would do stuff like that.
Loading ammo. This will slow him down.
Come on, give me something. Where have you been all my life? We doing this or not? Get to that big vent.
Like, I mean, right now, besides this game, I've been playing, I've actually gotten back into Final Fantasy 14 online, and I've been playing that game for a bit. Sometimes if I feel like, you know, getting on a fighting game, I have DOA 6, so I try to broadcast a bit of that. Just try to switch it up a little bit.
Is this a train station or a nuclear bunker?
But I wish, like, you know, they brought out games like Silent Hill and all of that stuff. I wish those games came back, because those are my favorite games. Like, I'm a big time Silent Hill fan. I'm very big on Resident Evil. You know, I love games like that. I love games like From Software, like Bloodborne. Even though, like, I've beaten those entire games, and like Dark Souls and stuff. And it's kind of sad that they're not bringing out any more content. Like, I mean, they brought out Sekiro, but you know, I haven't gotten that game yet.
Next level should be safe.
But I can't wait till I get my hands on that.
There's clean. Come on down.
Next level's gotta be aired out before we drop down.
Cause like From Software, I think they're just an amazing. Oh man, that guy is right on top. I just think they're like an amazing company. Like, they really know how to do their games. The way they set it up, the story, everything is just, you know, straight from, you know, their own minds. Something that, you know, that they just create and bring out. And that's what I like. I think that's just, you know, amazing. Rather than, like, sort of following the same thing over and over. The fact that they, you know, can just bring out something like that, it's really good. And same for like Devil May Cry. Like, I've played that game since, you know, since Nintendo days, and you know, I've always been a fan of Devil May Cry. I love their story. I love how flashy the game is, and you know how crazy you can do certain combos with other things, and the story is also really good too. But you know, you have to be like really into those types of games to play them. It's kind of like God of War, you know. You play God of War, you enjoy God of War, you love how the story is, the imagination that goes into it, and you know, you really feel like you're a part of something while playing it. And like those type of games will always be, I guess you could say, somewhat like collector games. And those are like the style of games that I really love, you know. And like I'm a collector of games. Like, I got a lot of like models of games and stuff like that, like from Dark Souls and stuff. Like, I have like 24-inch model game, statues. I picked up a month ago and have barely played it. Which one? From Dark Souls?
Hold your breath and head down.
Yeah, if you ever like just sort of stick with it and you know try to beat it. Oh, God of War, yeah. Like I said, if you try to stick with it and play it, you'll actually really start to like it. It does kind of suck that you like. I mean, majority of those games you always got to try to build yourself up, right? I mean that kind of sucks, and not being able to have what you can have to do what you can do in the game, but I mean, it does add to it, and it has a better storytelling and aspect towards it, so it really brings it out. And the fact that you're like super old now, and you know you have your kid, you know that also brings something out, which is also really good. And it's a different twist, right? But yeah, God of War is actually really good. The latest game is actually really, really good.
Okay, I'm good.
It's another game that I really want to get back into. The only reason why I haven't gotten back into it and haven't gotten like to platinum it or to finish it off is the one thing I hate about PlayStation and their systems is that like I don't have a Pro, right? So I'm on a Slim for my PlayStation, and it's very limited for space. So normally what I do is like I'll pick up a game, and then whatever games that I've beaten or platinum, I'll just like get rid of, and then put on those games and just sort of keep doing that.
Show's over. Screamer down. Reloading. Fire in the hole.
Holy shit, they're diving right at us. Go!
But I'm looking to pick up an extended hard drive. I did have one, but for some reason it was so faulty that it ended up didn't working, and I have to get a new one to get all my games back. The one thing I'm missing right now is you know, having like over 80 games on my system, and just, you know, whatever I feel like broadcasting or playing, just, you know, jumping into the game right away and then start continuing with that.
Right here. The vent might get us back to the train. And I don't even want to think about where that yellow crap came from.
So I was doing that. When I first started broadcasting, I broadcasted Alien Isolation. And I mean, it was a lot of fun. It was, I did that on survival mode, which is like the hardest mode, and like that alien hugs you practically. And it was so cool to like experience and see and go through.
We gotta shut him up.
Oh my god, this guy was right in the corner. Hey, buddy, you want to come over here and...
Couldn't get him off. Thanks.
Looks like Black Friday in here. Don't let him get inside the train.
Shut up.
I think Alien Isolation is the new one. That's the latest game from them. After that, I haven't seen too many games for that, which is sad because, like, I mean, that game was just, you know, it was just amazing. Oh, really?
There's
Nice.
a tunnel boring machine next to the train. Turn it on and leave some skid marks.
Yeah, I can't wait till they bring out more movies, more games like that, because they're just so good, you know what I mean? I mean, if they're done right, they're just so good. And you know, like, a lot of, if you notice, a lot of horror movies are bringing out like really silly and stupid stuff, like, you know, like a babysitter goes crazy, or like the horror in it is just, you know, it's not as good, it's not scary, it's more, they're based on like the gore factor and, you know, kind of like Hostel, and there's like no story towards it, just like random stuff. So I mean, it'll be good to see. Yeah, exactly. You know, it's almost like watching Friday the 13th for the first time, and you just see how cheesy it is, that it just doesn't, you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. Or it's just like, you know, if you're as old as I am, you know, you just sort of like fall out of it. Like, I mean, I grew up with those movies, you know, I grew up with Friday the 13th, you know, the originals, the, you know, Nightmare on Elm Street originals, Halloween original. Michael Myers is actually my favorite killer.
You can't leave us here.
Son of a bitch!
Take him out!
Whoa, Jesus!
And
Honestly, you Yanks
now
have
seeing
no
the
sense of
newer
humor.
versions
Now
of
hurry
those
up and get on the
movies,
bloody train.
it's like, you know, it's almost as if they're just putting it out just for the fact of putting it out, you know? It's not relating to the character, or, you know, now that some of those characters are older now, like the newest one with Jamie Lee Curtis, that Halloween is actually, right from the first, it's supposed to be right after the first movie, and, I mean, Halloween 2 sort of had her in that, and it was just, you know, it was just weird, and it's, like, I understand that you want to go back and sort of bring it out, and you're sort of bringing the same story over and over. Like, the first 5 movies are exactly the same as the first one, except for number 3, because number 3 was just so weird. You know, like it just didn't fit. It was just one of those movies that, like, it made no sense. You know what I mean? But I guess nowadays with movies, you know, everybody is just wants to put something out there just for a quick buck, and you know, not really put any story or any imagination into it. That it's just, you know, it's a cash grab basically. And at that point, it's like, I really don't want to go to the theater to see this because I could just stream it. You know what I mean? I can just try to find like some weird you know, thing off my PC and just sort of watch it on there or something. You know, watch a bootleg or something. You know what I mean? It's just there's just no interest anymore, no imagination, and that's why like I'm kind of I want to see what like Ridley Scott brings out with the new Aliens, because he's sort of he's backtracking from number 2. So everything that you're watching with the newest one, Covenant, I think it is, that's supposed to be like right after Prometheus. You know, so it's supposed to be like Prometheus, Covenant, and then there's supposed to be another one that's supposed to come after Covenant, but it's like mixed in with Alien, where Ripley finds it. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's just like really weird within the timeline that he's bringing this. That, you know, I'm kind of interested in seeing the way his mind thinks, and how he sort of looks at that, and how he's going to bring it about. I mean, it'll be interesting to see. A lot of people didn't like Covenant, but honestly, I thought it was great. Just, you know, on the imagination aspect of it, and I mean, he's trying to stay true to how it was originally before
towards it. Maybe we'll make it to the river.
Before Cameron made it into more of an action film rather than like based on a horror. I mean, it's cool too, because if you followed like the comic books, Cameron brought it out from Marine Corps. You know what I mean? Yeah, they were really good movies, and it brought out like a different aspect, that these are bioengineered rather than an actual species. You know what I mean? And seeing how they were created is, you know, it's mind blowing. It's mind blowing that they were actually a virus and not an actual species, say like Predator, you know what I mean? So it's cool to see stuff like that, and you know, to have that type of imagination of, you know, they're bioengineered, and they're bioengineered from an android, you know, from a faulty android actually. So that's another thing that's kind of cool to see, or that he was bringing out. But yeah, I thought Prometheus was great. It was kind of great to see the first face hugger, and to see like an alien from what are they called?
We got everybody moving forward.
Oh man, I forgot the name for the big white engineers. That's it. So it was kind of cool to see like an alien like a massive alien come out from an engineer and see how different it looked.
Spotted a screamer.
Shut up.
So
Passage under the tracks.
things like that
More
are,
enclosed
you know,
spaces.
really cool to
Love
see.
it. I'm hearing Zeke everywhere.
Yeah, the first Alien movies are going to be all about them. The first
All right,
one
let's get out of here.
was an introduction to them. The second movie was, you know, how they were used in the creation and the extinction of their race. But it wasn't like, if you look at Covenant, Covenant is not really, how did they say this? It's based off of engineers, but they weren't the engineers. They were just a civilization. They were more of a passive civilization of the engineers. So basically they were like refugees, and they were used in this experiment because, what's his face? David, thought they were, you know, the main engineers, but they weren't. So the third one that Ridley Scott is trying to bring out is going to be like
We're not getting past this fence.
it's going to be the war engineers.
What do we got? Train tracks run into the red gate.
They were supposed to be, but the engineers that were on that planet
Room to build speed.
were
Back it up.
like I said, they were refugees. There was no warriors on that planet. So they were basically sacrificed through David's experiments.
That sound will wake the dead.
And that's why that planet fell so quickly. Is because of that. It's because they had no way to defend themselves from all of that. Yeah, that's exactly what they were. And it was like pure genocide. Like they just got massacred when David dropped all the vials that were in that ship. Onto that planet, or onto that race. And it was just like a massive, you know, massacre. And through them, he started to experiment. And whatever survived from them, he was experimenting on them. He even experimented on Elizabeth. But his experimentation on Elizabeth was he was trying to save her. He was trying to evolve her into something more. And that's, she's actually stated to be the first queen for the aliens. She's basically the mother for the aliens. And when you watch the movie, I think the captain that takes over for the ship, because the captain burns up in the hypersleep, right? He dies right in the beginning. So the second guy that takes over, he actually becomes the first incubation test for those aliens.
Train is in position. Launch it. Stay clear. Train coming through.
Busted that shit wide open. Let's go. The gate's wide open.
So it was really crazy to see. crazy to see and kind of, you know, almost kind of sad at the same time. To see a planet completely wiped out. You know, by David.
I need help!
One of ours needs help.
Appreciate it. Somebody left the sewer grate open. I'm going in. Let's go! The gate's wide open!
Yeah, because like originally, Elizabeth wanted to get answers from them, right? She wanted answers as to why they came to Earth and why, you know, they wanted them dead. And stuff like that, right? So she wanted answers. But, you know, she needed to go and actually see them and speak to them, because the one that they did find was, you know, a soldier. And he's trained to kill, he's trained to survive, and that's generally where they landed. They landed on a, like, almost like an alien military base, where this virus, or genocide virus, was what they were creating, and, you know, destroying planets as well as creating planets. Because if you saw in the beginning, that guy takes a sip of it, and then he dies. That's basically him fertilizing the planet, as well as, like, you know, maintaining order through genocide, and, you know, kind of combining the species. That's why they found human DNA mixed in with them, is because they were partially, you know, I guess they're stating that that's generally where we also came from, too. But, you know, they didn't realize that through that mutation, it was killing them, but within humans, it was incubating, you know, an entire organism. And those engineers didn't know that. They were using that to sort of, you know, wipe out the planet. And generally what would happen is one of their soldiers or one of their priests would take that and basically cleanse that planet.
If they get out, we're screwed.
Down to the floor, and on both sides. They're coming through! Go! Go!
I'm surrounded.
And that was kind of like his explanation of them. But, you know, David took it more on a vengeance level, and more on, you know, based on curiosity and stuff like that. He wanted to understand the virus, and when he understood it in Prometheus, he ended up testing it on people, right, to see the extent of it, what can happen, what it will do, how it will evolve, and stuff like that. And just, you know, take it to that level. But, you know, David was, you know, a faulty android, and he had human emotions. Like, he evolved way too quickly, way too fast, and, you know, he ended up getting human emotions, and I think he fell in love with with Elizabeth, and so that's why he kind of took it to a more like when she died from it, because she was infected with it, right? Because because she gave birth to the first alien, she was mutating with that DNA. So she was basically dead to begin with. And, you know, through that, he took it a different level, he took it to a different extent. Because she was mutating from that, he was trying to save her. And he was trying to find a way to save her, but, you know, he had no way of doing that. So he kind of took his anger and everything on that refugee planet, because he thought that they were, you know, the warriors. And he wanted to, like, you know, say, okay, this is how you guys, you know, almost tried to exterminate the human race, but he was, you know, because he was evolving and because he was, like, almost human to an extent, he was, you know, trying to also at the same time protect them. Almost be like the right hand of God for humankind, I guess you could say. And that's why he was like, he didn't care if he was experimenting, he didn't care who lived or died or who was in the collateral damage. The only thing he did care about was, you know, getting the results that was needed to evolve a secret weapon to wipe out this race rather than that race being wiped out.
Anybody else?
And that's why it's going to be more interesting to see, because in the next movie that he does bring out, we might actually see a human war with the engineers and aliens mixed in with that, right? But I mean that begs to differ if he brings that movie out, or if we actually get to see, you know, the extent of that and what happens and. I mean, which will be really cool to see. Oh my god, this entire team is like wiped out. And we didn't start the winch. No. Or did we? Did we start this? Yeah, we did. And yeah, that's another reason why I really like movies like that. But I would like them to bring out like a different way, you know what I mean? Like instead of like focusing on a way of, I mean it's cool that they're giving it an origin story towards it, but it would actually be cool to see like maybe another version of it, you know what I mean? Like seeing it through Ellen Ripley's daughter, you know, seeing how she went through that. They tried to bring that within the game,
please.
So I mean, that would be. Oh, I think I just got screwed over with this guy. That's kind of cool to see. So like, just do like a complete different story, or maybe take it more into the marine side of it, like how they did in the comics.
I need men! I'm down!
Yeah, that would be interesting to see too, but Shane Black kind of butchered the remake Predator movie, or if it was a remake Predator movie. I'm not sure if that was supposed to be like a sequel towards it. I'm not too sure, but he kind of butchered it. So, I mean, to bring out that movie, you would really need a really good director. Somebody who can relate to that and, you know, make it more unique than how it was previously. And that's like separating it from A versus P. That's separating it from, you know, the original Predator, also with the 2016 remake or 17 remake, separated from that. Actually, what would really be cool to see, yeah, the giant Predator, yeah, he was cool to see, and the fact that he was fighting other predators, also made it very interesting. But to me, personally, if I were to choose an aspect of that movie, instead of showing more human fighting predators, or predators just coming down and fighting humans, I would make a Predator movie based on the predators. You know what I mean? Like, take a predator and go through it from their civilization. Go through it from how they are trained. Go through it how their way of life is. Go through it, you know, how they go to a different planet and they hunt certain creatures, and, you know, show a vision through their life, rather than you know, coming towards humans and then going through it as, you know, we're making them be the bad people or the bad guys, and we're fighting them when their species is generally trying to survive, right? That's their way of life. Their way of life is a warrior way of life, where they're set out on their own. They're put through trials. They're hunting. They're learning to hunt. They're, you know, things like that. I think that would be an amazing movie to see. And you know, you could play around with it so much, like bringing out different types of life forms. The Yagata is actually one race. I believe there's 7 races of predators, and it's all based on their facial and their skull. The way their skull looks. The bigger their head, the more experience and the different types of classes that they are. Also size too, and their mouth pincers. The more rugged they look is the more experience, and the more I think the chieftain. Because they're almost like I guess you could say Native Indians. You know, they have a chieftain, they have their surrounding circle of chieftains that govern certain particular classes. And each one has, like, certain different classes. Like, they're very well structured. If you check into the backstory for them, and if you go through the way that the comic books are done for them, they're very, very structured within their class. And they're based off of, like, what they kill and what they bring, like what kind of trophy they bring back. The baddest the monster is that they kill, they move up in rank. Like, that's why they hunt aliens, or they love hunting aliens, is because they find them to be a worthy adversary, because they can kill most creatures, not only with their hunting prowess, but because of their blood too is also acid, and they're one of the few creatures that they can mark themselves with.
Thanks for the ride, Stevie.
And they find them to be like a parasite, which they are a parasite. Because they could just go to a planet, breed whatever they could breed with, and just dominate an entire population. So hunting them is like, top of the line. But now that they've come in contact with humans, it's also the same thing. But if you notice with them, they're also quite respectable if you take one of their members down. And they will actually commend you to be a worthy warrior if you manage to kill one of their own.
Damn it! Hudson straight ahead, but I don't see a way.
And to them, that's like, that's rare.
We gotta get off the streets.
It's very rare for them.
Right. Could be a way through.
I've got a breaching charge.
Cargo terminal. Gotta be safer than the street.
Yeah, if you ever get a chance, just like try to look into those backstories and everything for them, because it's really, really, really interesting to see.
Breaching charge ready.
And if you've ever seen A versus P, the girl
Everybody needs to regroup.
See what we got.
What's her name? There's I think it was a black girl. She helps a predator, and he kind of initiates her because she killed an alien, right? So he recognized her strength. He actually takes her to
Let's go.
their planet and actually trains her with other female predators. Because in their backstory, the female predators are actually
It's a train depot.
like the most vicious,
No vigilantes here.
most vicious predators. That's why you rarely see any of the female predators, is because they're off on their own.
More enclosed spaces. Love it.
Because they're like more devastating.
Creeper neutralized.
Hey, Pedro, moving in.
I got the lead. We got no chance if they swarm down here.
And that's why, like, she was the first human to actually become a Yagata, and also take down
Alright, let's get out of
a
here.
very tough predator. And she was, like, recognized within that tribe.
Creeper down.
And the backstory for her is also pretty cool too. Like she was the only human predator. To actually ever survive their race and, you know, be initiated into that type of clan. But if they ever do make a movie, I would love them to take on that aspect of it, you know what I mean? Rather than, you know, the same old human fights alien or creature or whatever, and then, you know what I mean, trying to survive on that type of way of looking at it. Yeah, or something like that, you know what I mean? I mean, he also fought a different style or another class of predator. And that class of predator that he actually fought were suicidal predators. There were predators that didn't care of killing their own race. If they could hunt them, they would hunt them. And that's why you saw a lot of predators that were skinned and hanged, is because that's what they were hunting. I guess you could say they were more of a rogue class, you know what I mean? Or an outcast. Because they didn't care what they hunt. As long as they were hunting, they were happy with it. And almost everything became a trophy to them. Which is, you know, crazy to see and more scary to see. But that's what I mean too. If they made a movie, or if they actually thought about making a movie based off of predators that were like that, that would be insane to see. Because you're seeing it through their eyes, you know what I mean? You're experiencing their way of life, and, you know, what they hunted. So I think, like, seeing something like that would just be amazing. But, you know, a lot of people are not bringing anything out like that, you know? It's more of like a repeat of everything. Everybody's repeating the same thing, and it's... I mean, to a certain extent, I mean, yeah, sure, it's,
That never gets easier.
It's interesting to see, but at the same time, it gets boring, you know? It gets old.
Oh, God. Smells disgusting.
And that's why a lot of movies like that are, you know, they're not getting recognized for their way. Like, a lot of people are trying to make backstory prequels and, you know, continuations. This is what happened after in that timeline, and I mean, to an extent it's okay, but at the same time it's like people want to see something new. People want to see something, you know, completely original.
Let's go.
And relate to that too, you know? same thing with games. Like, people don't want to keep seeing repeats of the same thing. Like, people want to see brand new stuff. People want to play brand new stuff. And that's why, like, games like, you know, The Last of Us 2, where she's all grown up, is going to be, like, really amazing to see and, you know, play. Or like games like Days Gone. You know, it's its own game. Dead Stranding will probably be another good game when it comes out, because it's completely on its own. And I mean, those are the type of games that are really gonna shine because it's something brand new.
In the park, old monastery.
And that's, you know, also too, like games like Resident Evil.
Shit, I don't like the look
You
of
know,
this.
they remade it, and they remade it so good that it's like, you know, it became something brand new.
Here they come!
I'm surrounded. Who wants more?
And that's why it's gonna be like, you know, interesting to see where things change and where things take off from there.
I'm good.
Shit, that was close.
Evac site can't be far. Let's go.
We can't stay here. I'll take what I can get.
Saved my ass.
We got them all.
I got you. Gonna be good as new.
They're bombing the street.
Where are we? River's on the right. Follow the fence. Zeke are headed for the river.
This isn't looking good.
You know, like, to a certain extent, that's why I kind of hope that, like, Ridley Scott would sort of do something like that, because that would have been amazing.
Army left auto
If he actually took it to the extent of showing, say, you know, how
I need help. We've got a man down.
how engineers lived, you know, or something, or how,
Hands up. Move.
you know, how that way of life was, or like how engineers
Watch out.
were. Who were the engineers? You know, focus on them, give them a backstory, give them, you know, a shine in light, have them deal with humans before even bringing out
Calling more.
aliens. You know what I mean? Instead of like almost like rushing that way of explaining where aliens actually came from. They could have done a lot with the engineers.
Another way.
You know, their first contact with humans or something, and made them sort of, you know, be the priority for the time being.
Okay, this should help.
I owe you.
You know, I think that would have been interesting to
I
go
see a
about it
boat.
that way.
It's close.
And then, you know, after, say, 3 movies of them, bring out their initiation with aliens, you know? Make them, like, show how they developed the virus, how the virus became, you know, what it became. I think, you know, that way of, or that vision, or that way of showing things would have been way more interesting, you know? It would have been way more interesting. It would have been really, really cool to see.
We're getting on that boat.
And so that we understand the engineers, you know? Rather than just having them in and being like, okay, who is this?
Creeper neutralized.
You know, who are these people? Like, where did they come from? How are they involved with humans? Well, you know, give them that backstory. Give them,
Which isn't working. Somebody check it out.
you know, give them, you know, their limelight into, you know, how they ever thought of something like this.
We gotta shut him up.
I think that would have been really cool to see.
Screamer down.
But, you know, they were way before our time. So bringing them in, and then all of a sudden bringing in humans in the next movie, or even during that movie, was, you know, I mean, it was different, but I don't think we needed it right in that time, you know what I mean? I personally think they had some time to play around with before bringing it out. But I think nowadays, you know, like I said, it's almost like a cash grab, right? Everybody is like rushing to bring things out and, you know, not take the time to explain things. I think the only people that or company that actually did that is like Marvel, you know. They're trying to explain each of their characters. They gave each of their characters their own movie. And, you know, they really showed, like, how these characters interacted and how all of a sudden what they were faced with and what it led up to it, you know, the build-up for those movies. And they're still not done, you know. They still got, like another, set of movies that are going to be coming out. Yeah, that is, and it's gonna be, you know, it's gonna be really interesting. Like their first set of Marvel characters, like Iron Man and all them, you know, they set or they paved the road for it, and now they can just bring out, you know, anything that they want to bring out, anything brand new, any superheroes that will, you know, take on the next chapter. It's opened the door for them, you know what I mean? I heard they were gonna start doing stuff with the Collector, or the what's the I think they're called the Watchers or something like that. They basically watch the galaxy, and like they don't interfere with it, but they can see what's gonna happen and stuff like that. You know, Captain Marvel. You know, I personally, I hope they get rid of Brie Larson for all the, you know, the trolling that she's been doing with the franchise. Bring out some, you know, a brand new star for that and really make that movie shine. Yeah, she's you know, one of those actors or actresses that you know, their head is a little bit too big for their body. And really understand that it's not about them, it's, you know, it's about the fans. And, you know, the way that I see Brie Larson in this is that she was all about herself, basically. She didn't really understand and realize that, you know, this is Stan Lee's baby. You know what I mean? Stan Lee created this. Every movie, every Marvel movie that's ever been created has not been about the superheroes. I mean, yeah, it's showing the superheroes, but it's showing a legacy that a man created. You know what I mean? A man created this. A guy whose, you know, vision and creativity just, you know, went outside of the box and created whatever that he created. And, you know, he wasn't thinking about, you know, a particular race. He wasn't thinking about how, you know, people were like this. Oh, nice. Yeah, he's a great, from what I've saw and know of him, you know, he was a great man. It's really sad in his last couple of years that they really, you know, kind of worked him very badly, and how everybody was trying to get his money was also very bad. Because they knew it was just a matter of time, right? And, you know, like George Lucas, he kind of had to sell what he had and what he made and what he created. But, you know, certain directors that made his movies or have been making his movies have always paid tribute to him. Like, it was always about bringing, you know, his thing to life.
That would make a lot of noise.
We draw the Zeds away from Green Gold and buy him some time. Agreed. Let's pick up these slackers and set up defenses.
But, you know, you get your big-headed actors that try to make it more about themselves and not about the fans and all that stuff, and, you know, not really paying tribute to the creator of it or anything like that. And, you know, they're like, she basically destroyed her own career by doing that. And, you know, I mean, some actors will do that. It's all for show, or to an extent of it being for show. But, you know, a lot of people won't work with her. A lot of people won't work with actors like that. And, you know, she sort of created that life for herself now. It was almost as if she was trying to sabotage her own career to an extent. But I mean, that's how some actors work. They work themselves based on sabotaging to get publicity.
Screamer's gone.
And, you know, she created a name for herself now. So, I mean, nobody will ever forget Brie Larson now, because she's, you know, she ran her mouth, she put a lot of people down, she, you know, tried to be very sexist. And you know, that falls back on to, like, you know, equality and stuff like that, and how,
Gringos are sitting duck.
you know, I mean, it's great. I think people should be equal, and I believe everybody should be equal.
Gates open. Move.
But I mean, if you're doing this for a publicity stunt and
This better be worth it.
setting that trend, I think that's more damaging than you know, saying people should have these rights. You know, yeah, people should have these rights regardless. But don't, you know, don't put it on a pedestal to the point of where, okay, you know what I mean? Like, men in general have learned from their mistakes and have created, you know, no more of a white supremacist, you know, atmosphere and all this stuff. And yeah, and now we're just being so blamed for that it's like, okay, you know, like, we gave, you know, we bent to this. A lot of guys have gone through a lot of, you know, a big rap in setting, you know, trying to make things equal, trying to make, you know, a well-balanced society, to the point of where now it's almost as if it's being abused. And this time it's, you know, it's somewhat being abused by women. And, you know, now you're seeing, like, women bosses are, you know, sexually assaulting males, but they're playing it to the advantage of where they can get away with it, you know, or anything like that. And it's gotten to the point of where it's like, okay,
Oh shit.
you know, we were trying to do stuff like this. We were trying to, you know, set our ways straight. We were trying to not be discriminating in that extent, or be that piggish or degrading. You know, we're trying to grow from stuff like that.
I'm reloading.
But, you know, people are gonna be people. People are gonna abuse whatever they can abuse for the sake of abusing it. You know what I mean? Whether you're male or female. That's just the way the world works. That's just how society is in general. People are degrading. And it's you know, all about what you can get. Basically. It's all about what you can get, and what you can get out of it, what you can have out of it, what you can abuse out of it, and stuff like that, you know. And it's quite sad. It's quite you know, bad. The type of life, the type of society we're growing into, you know, the way our kids are growing into.
Come on, bitches.
Yeah. That I feel, you know, I'm sorry you had to go through that. But, you know, like I said, a lot of people do go through this. A lot of people have gone through this. You know, I've had my share of females like that. Not feminist to an extent, but like just their way in general. You know, I believe a lot in equality. I base myself off of it. and I try to find people that are, you know, similar in that extent, and, you know, willing to compromise and all that stuff. Like my fiance, my ex-fiance, you know, she wanted me to work, and she wanted me to give her money, and she would stay home and stay with the kids or whatever, or anything like that, and I was like no, like, that's not the way life works, you know what I mean? That's not the way that life should work, or anything like that.
Somebody get the green gold! Let's see that.
Yeah, it's very different. Like, I was actually, my last girlfriend, or my last fiance, was Vietnamese. And honestly, I mean, if her family wasn't so biased and negative in that sense, I mean, it probably would have been good. But, you know, I mean, it's sad that it is the way that it is.
Oh, suck it up.
And
Let's find the damn codes.
I mean, you learn from it, you grow from it, and, you know, you know, her family was a little bit troubled with her not dating somebody that's, you know, not the same race or culture or anything like that. And I mean, like, you know, you come to North America, you would expect that, you know, cultures are gonna mix. You would expect that, people are gonna, you know, I guess intermingle or whatever, or anything like that, and grow as a culture rather than, you know, secluding yourself to your own, you know, your own race or something like that.
Inbound! Keep it tight, group.
Damn it! I heard this guy. Yeah, see, like, that's the main thing with Asians. They're very family oriented. Oh my god. I don't think I've ever seen this before. I've never seen two brutes and a lurker attack me like that. Yeah. Asian families are very family-oriented. A lot of Asian children end up having their parents live with them or stay with them, and you know, they tend to be a very particular race of people that not really intermingle. I mean, if they're from Asia coming here, that's the way that they are, because they're very set in those type of ways, where they want to keep everything legit within their family name. It's their family name is you know, one of the most important towards their culture. And the thing is that, like, I mean, if you move to another country,
we're going for the second case. Green gold, be ready.
Your children are gonna grow up here. You know, if you have children that are Americanized or Canadianized or, you know, anything like that, they're gonna grow up in that culture. They're gonna intermingle. They're gonna meet other people with other cultures, and that's how, you know, if you think about it, that's how our culture grows as one.
Look out for the lurk.
Yeah, like, for me, you know, I'm half Pakistani, I'm half Portuguese, I have Irish descents. My uncle, or like my mom's uncle, was in the Irish Army. You know, and I have family like all over the place. I have family all like in Australia. I have family all over North America. I have family in England. I have family back in India that I've never met. You know, like all over the place. I have family all over the place. So, I mean, you know, that type of culture is, you know, like, my family doesn't look at it like that, you know what I mean? We don't pick and choose who are, you know, who we marry or who we want to be with. Like, we don't do arranged marriages. I'm Roman Catholic, which is like a minority in Pakistan, because it's mostly Muslim and Hindu. But you know, it's a major minority. Yeah, I mean, I'm tan skinned, but I have like, I have family that are white. I have family that are mixed, and you know, and everything.
One last gas bag. I'm reloading.
I'm down.
Are you from your Orthodox? You're not like strict Orthodox, are you?
Alpha, I've got limited fuel here. Clock's ticking.
Ball coming in.
Like when you say Eastern Orthodox, you're not talking like Anglican or anything, are you? Like that kind of strict, religiously? Or do you believe in like Christianity and?
I've got limited fuel here. Clock's ticking.
I mean, Catholic and Christianity, there are a lot of similarities, but even though it depicts the same thing, it's still a little, you know, they try to make it different.
Heads up, we're at lookout. Got case 2. Coming back for you, Doctor.
Let's get these codes back to base and fire up the satellite link.
No, I can only reactivate from the primary terminal. Hurry up with those chains.
Where?
The Ra'am base, in the desert north of here. Alpha, Ra'am has a Mach-Bed auto anti-air system. We'd be shot down.
The thing for me, like I'm Roman Catholic. I've been baptized. I've gone through all of that. But for me personally, I don't believe in going to church to worship. You know, for me, my spiritualism is more. You know, I believe there is a God, but I believe that God's, you know, a part of me, a part of everybody. You know, I don't single anything out with it. Or seclude it. I don't think, you know, one religion is right than the other. I believe they're all similar. Yeah, they have their own different types of backstories, but you know, in a way, they all depict the same type of things. You know, in India, they're almost like how Greek and Romans are, where they have many types of gods that they worship, but they all depict the same thing. Same thing with Buddhism. You know, they have their different types of gods that they all worship, but it's very similar to the exact same thing. It just depends on how you look at it or how you interpret. and how it's, you know, related. But I don't believe, you know, one religion is the main religion, or, you know what I mean, like, Old Testament is the same as New Testament, or better than Old Testament, or anything like that, you know what I mean? I believe they're very similar, and, you know, everything shouldn't be categorized as different, but, you know how, you know, a lot of religions are like that, and that's why religion is, like, so finicky, so, you know, outbased.
We got another swarm! Frat those sons of bitches.
And, you know, to an extent, to be honest with you, I find religion to be more racist than, you know, normal things.
They're all over me! We're moving as fast as we can.
Yeah, see, like, my family, my mom is, like, very, very religious. She's gone to, every religious, thing that you can think of. She's, you know, she's seen, like, the bleeding statue. She's seen, you know, she's gone all of that. She's, you know, she's gone to many, countries that are very highly religious. She actually, my mom actually got, what is it? It's, she sent something for her, I guess her 50th anniversary to the Vatican, and she got a plaque, like, she got a signed thing from the Pope, and, you know, sort of giving him, or giving my family, a blessing, I guess you could say, on their wedding, or their anniversary. That's gonna be happening next month. So, like, when I say, like, religious, you know, like, my mom is, like, really, really religious. She's been to the Vatican so many times.
What the fuck is going on, Phoenix?
It's a bomb.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, I get what you mean. But you still remain true to what the purpose of your religion is, and that's, you know, that's something that's good. A lot of religions and people don't actually do that. But, like, see, for me, in my sense, like I said, I believe in God. For me personally, you know, going to church, it's not something that I believe in. The way that I look at it is, you know, the church is within me. I pray spiritually,
Get your ass in here.
rather than, you know, taking it to a more physical extent of going to a church or anything like that.
I'm okay.
You know, I still do the same things. I still follow Lent. I still follow, you know, Christmas and Easter, and on Sunday, I work a lot of weekends, so I don't actually get a chance to go to church or anything like that. But at the same time, I kind of fell out of that. going to church once a year is pretty much suffice for me personally. But you know, I take my time to reflect on it. Try to sort of meditate a little bit on that spiritual aspect, but it's more of a spiritual aspect within myself. And you know, like I said, I've been baptized. I've done everything possible religiously growing up to now of where I kind of feel like, you know, God's church is within me. It's within everybody. And as long as I acknowledge the fact that I can believe in myself and believe within that spirit, that, you know, I'm close to that. And within religion itself, and being a good person, and, you know, helping other people, talking with other people, you know, respecting other people, and stuff like that. That, to me, is what I base my religion off of. You know, sort of being that Samaritan. But I'm also the type of person that kind of believes that when you die, you don't go to hell, you don't go to heaven or anything, but you get reborn and you become something else. Whether it's another human or another part of life or anything like that, I believe in that type of cycle. I believe in, you know, once you die and you become of the planet, you know, you become one with it, you grow with it, you know, you become another person with another life, or, you know, maybe an animal or anything like that. You almost sort of like contribute towards that. That's something that I believe in, which is highly based off of like Buddhism, but I'm not, you know, I don't follow that type of religion, but the same type of metaphors that religion displays is very similar to what I believe in. And, you know, I believe that there's more to life. I don't believe in, you know, one singular entity that governs all. I think there's, you know, many. And each one of them, you know, plays their own function, has their own set of rules, set of order, set of way of depicting life. And, you know, as long as you don't abuse it or take it for granted, you know, life is life, right? Life is good, life is bad, life is up and down, life is a struggle, life can be easy, but, I mean, that's just the way life is, you know? No matter where you are. I mean, I don't believe that Earth is, you know, the only habitable planet. I think there's more life out there. You know, more life that's sort of living the way that we're living. You know.
Back, Green Gold.
Okay.
And I mean, it would, like, I would love to, you know, see stuff like that. I would love to, in my lifetime, I would like to see stuff like that and be able to
They were all trying to get
experience something like that. I like, hopefully not like the aliens way or, you know, or the Predator way, But, you know, seeing stuff that's like, you know, more than just us.
Strike one gas bag.
Reload!
But, you know, everybody has their own views. As long as you believe in that and you follow that, that's all that matters, you know?
Swapping out.
And,
Everybody
I mean, that defines who you are. That makes you the type of person that you are and what you believe in and how you perceive your life. And, you know, I mean, that's good.
Fucking perfect. Dig in.
You know, but like I said, like, people will always be people. Whether it's good or bad or whatever type of intentions, you know, it'll always be the way that it is. But I think in the most part is if you could separate yourself from that aspect of things, and become more than yourself, more than, you know, the way that society depicts itself. You define your own way of life. You know what I mean? You define who you are. You define what you can bring to other people. And I think that's what really matters. Is, you know, setting yourself away from that standard of how everybody depicts themselves.
Full exterminated.
Look out for the lurk.
But, you know, that's how I kind of see life. Or like how I want to depict my life. I want to depict, like, I'm very based on fairness, equality, and, you know, anything within that aspect of, you know, people are people, create people the way that you would want to be created or treated, and, you know, go through life that way. But, you know, a lot of people will not see it that way, and that's the hard part about it.
Reload! Frag going in!
And it's really sad that, you know, that's the way life gets displayed. You know, without chaos, there can't be order, or, you know, human society is always, you know, destined to go through its ups and downs and fail and, you know, be subjected in that type of way.
Phoenix, you there?
I pulled away as many as I can. Gonna take them for a run.
Copy that. Base is 5 kilometers from our position.
As we came in, I saw a road on the other side of the power plant. Vehicles.
Well, let's check it out. I call shotgun. Eyes open for a lurker.
Looks like that
Oh, there was a blaster over there. I didn't even notice that. But yeah, that's, you know, that kind of stuff is always, it's always debatable. it's almost like a never ending, never winning
Where is
type of thing, you know? You just sort of gotta ride with it, gotta go with the way things are. And
Stay down! Come on, get in here now! Doc, get behind us and watch your ass.
but, you know, I love games, you know?
Big door straight across the hall.
Right now, you know, that's my religion. Giving back to the people. Play things that, you know, people will enjoy and love and like to see and experience and stuff like that. That's my focus.
I see a screamer!
Need it. Aw, damn it. Where the hell did this guy come from? But, you know, as long as I could do that, I'm happy. I'm happy with life. Who I am. I guess you could say. Becoming an entertainer, you know? Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, I didn't hear the guy. I didn't even know. Like, I went for the screamer because the screamer's so damn annoying. So I wanted to get rid of him. Otherwise, it's just gonna be a never-ending, you know, never-ending thing. But I didn't hear the lurker. So I was quite surprised seeing him, or when he jumped me.
Hey, up and over this fence. I'm sorry, I can't make that jump. Jesus, okay? Find an easier route. Nice work with those turbines, Doc.
Look alive. We got targets. Reloading! Gas back running! Gas back down. Stay clear.
We got an opening in the rock. I smell a lurker.
Okay, now I heard that guy. I think he's down here somewhere.
Ball coming in!
He's actually really close. Or he's up there somewhere. Sounds like he's somewhere right around there.
Look out for the lurker. Mines, look out. My God, these bodies. This was a massacre.
Doesn't even register anymore, Doc.
I bet if we drop that barricade, it'll cut through the fence. Booby traps.
Man, why would you do that? Like, seriously. He saw me defusing it. Why would you do that? Oh man, this guy's getting killed. Yeah, I think that guy's glitched.
There, those satellite dishes. That's the base. Oh, fuck. We gotta get out of here now. We've gotta move. Doc, find us a damn car while we keep him busy.
I think I can get this van running.
Wait, you think?
The battery's dead. No fuel, the basics.
That's right, bitches!
Locate those car parts. Search everywhere.
Put the screamer down! Got something. Hold on.
Here we go. Stand by.
Ow. Oh, that's a big guy.
It's a bull! All yours. Bull exterminated.
These guys are like all over the place. And it doesn't help that my team is dying.
What are we doing? Find those parts for God's sake.
Save that guy.
Lurkers down. Reload!
Bingo! Bring in the parts.
Here. Got it.
I got parts. Running back now.
I found parts. Coming in.
Yeah, it's so easy to
Got something. Bringing
waste
it to you, Doc.
waste a lot of ammo on stuff like this.
Fortifications!
If I can get a turret in here, that should be good.
Put the screamer down!
And I'm gonna put it right here.
Auto turret is set. Show's over. Got eyes on a lurker. All coming in. Throwing a friend. Put down that bull.
Come look at this. Bingo. Bring in the parts.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here.
Here we go. Stand by.
Sometimes, for the parts,
Here you go.
they're over here in this corner. Like right where this guy is.
I got parts. Running back now.
You just gotta watch out.
Bingo. Swoop it out. Get him down. Heads up for a lookout.
Everybody, get in! Come on, come on. Go, go, go!
I'm going.
You're too slow.
You want to get out and fucking push?
Hey, look out!
Would all of you just shut up for a second?
I think we're losing them.
Phoenix, I think we made it. Heading to the base. Be ready.
Good to hear your voice, Alpha. Standing by.
Normally I've been like on that stage, I get a lot of people that just end up going down. And it makes it a lot harder. But I mean, like, we're playing on easy. I mean, yeah, it should be a little challenging, but not, you know, extensive. Can't wait to get into Tokyo. I think that's one of the best stages in this game. I also can't wait till they bring out the third chapter for Tokyo. Third chapter, new people. Which is surprising that they didn't bring out three chapters. No, I didn't get a chance to see any of that. I'm very curious as to what kind of more campaign stuff they're gonna bring out.
Bunker's on the other side of the compound, but it'll be locked down.
That's gonna be awesome.
The base commanders held security cards.
So we're searching.
I'm curious to see what kind of enemies they're gonna bring out.
Most likely.
Like if they'll bring out like a bloater style zombie or something like that.
Nothing here.
Oh my god. Please tell me. Okay.
Nothing here.
Enemy mines on the ground.
Nice. I need this trophy.
Stay close. Lurker nearby. Look at him now.
I got nothing here.
Booby traps.
Got the call. Is it safe? Clear. Let's move.
Nice.
I'm coming through.
Just got that trophy.
I'm reloading.
Look out for the lurker.
Oh, spitting enemy. That's gonna be interesting to see.
tunnel from the other side.
A little C4 would crack that open.
Yeah, it would be nice to see if they like
Payback time.
bring out enemies that are almost from like Left 4 Dead or. Oh, nice.
Blowing the door.
It's a bow.
Oh, come on.
The bunker is up the hill on the left. Screamer!
Reload!
Who's got the security card? I hear a lurker.
Clear.
I'll get it open.
Yeah, I gotta try to find out more information on all that stuff.
Turn it off!
It can open every door in the bunker. Just do it.
So that would be really cool if they brought out stuff that is very similar to like Left 4 Dead.
This'll keep the Zika. Grit is ready to roast.
Bring like a bloater that, you know, when you shoot it, it explodes.
This'll work. That's right, bitches!
Yeah, that'd be great. I would like to find more information on this. See what the stages are going to be like. See what the next stage is going to be like.
I'm reloading!
Oh, there's a guy over here.
We can't hold that much longer, Doc.
Do you know if they have anything on YouTube?
No more lurker. Reload!
Or is that the Oh, okay.
Keep coming.
Everybody in, now! Take out that screamer!
Shells. I'm reloading! Come on, bitches!
I'm closing the doors.
Focus your fire!
Hazmat inbound!
Yeah, I want to definitely see what the new enemy is going to look like. Especially the map too.
The other door! It stopped! Try it again! We've lost power! Wait, there's a backup generator!
Where?
Down this tunnel! Machine room! On the right! Well, this should go downhill fast. Doc, find a safe place in the tunnel and stay on radio! Get them off me!
Found the defense kit.
We need power! They're coming in!
Lurkers down!
Okay, so that's his, is that his streamer name? The Game Hub? Or that type of channel?
One last gas bag. Come on, bitches.
I'm at the junction. I can reach a vent to power down the fan. You could get out.
Do it!
Oh, okay.
Move, Doc. We can't risk it. Grid is powered. I've got eyes on a lurker. No more lurker.
The fan's off. Go through.
Everybody in! Now! Who are we missing? Everybody's in! Somebody turn on the fan! I set it on puree!
That's what you get.
I'm down below in the command center. Got to move quickly. This is gonna work.
Reload.
We're at full power. Network is solid.
Yeah, I'll probably put in the,
Cover you so you can do your thing.
the name. See if I could, find anything on YouTube for it.
On the console downstairs.
Eyes open for a lurker.
Oh, that guy's down here somewhere.
All right, done.
Down here or in here?
Where is that thing? Lurker's down. I'm reloading. No more lurker.
Now, I need to align the dish. Activate the console to spin up the motors.
Oh, okay.
Put down that.
No, if that's it, I'll take a look at that.
Heads up for a lurker!
I'm moving to the next console.
Oh, he's back in there again.
Eyes open for a lurker. We got a lurker. Reload.
Okay, it's working. Now the telemetry uplink.
I'm actually in Canada.
The key on the instrument panel. Turn it.
I'm reloading.
So North America, I guess.
Done. It's working. I've authorized the key I can use with any laptop.
Get to the roof and radio for evac. The air defense grid is down.
We've got a lookout.
That guy sounds like he's in here now.
Phoenix, we're coming to the roof. We need evac.
Lurker's down.
I hear a lurker.
Oh, nice.
Shut him up!
Yeah, Montreal's great. I mean, Ontario's not that bad, but it's like, it's highly expensive.
Keep coming.
Hey, look out for the lurker.
I set up an auto turret.
Oh, there he is.
Phoenix,
Do you read me? Phoenix!
fences. Auto turret live. Let's keep it
Love the
moving.
smell of explosives.
Phoenix, do you read me? Phoenix!
I hear a lurker.
No more lurker. Reload! Fortifications! Let's see.
Let's go this way.
Okay, I'm ready.
Phoenix! Do you read me? Phoenix!
We got a 50 cal. Phoenix, if you hear me, we need evac now.
I hear you, Alpha.
Thank fuck. Defense grid offline. Get your ass over here. I'm breathing.
Alpha, I am inbound.
That's right, bitches. Come on, bitches.
They're coming from the other side.
Keep coming.
They're coming from the other side.
Oh, don't like the sound of that.
The panels open the fan grids.
Markers down.
They're coming from the other side. Knocking them down.
Reload!
Siege incoming!
Alpha, on my approach. You've got a massive swarm heading in from the north. Thousands.
They'll break the
Coming
uplink.
from the other side.
Doc, can you fire the laser remotely from the chopper? Theoretically, yes. Right now.
Come on, bitches.
Alpha, I've got eyes on you. Hold them back and get ready for rapid evac.
Oh, I got
On the ground. Go, go.
bullets.
Switch it, go! They're here!
What the heck?
I'm reloading!
By the grace of God.
They're good over on the base.
That was so weird. The door
How long
closed.
do you need? Holy shit!
Hold on.
Great God Almighty!
Well, it works.
Oh, the explosion? Yeah. Yeah, that would be absolutely intense to see something like that. To be honest with you, I don't know how I would be. I think that would be like one of the scariest things to ever see, like people turning that way and it would almost be like 28 days later or something like that, you know? Like when this movie first came out, I don't like it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that scary, but what actually made it scary is the fact that the zombies were climbing each other. And the way that they would like you would think like okay, first of all, zombies are not that smart. Yeah, I'm exactly the same way. Like ghosts or anything like that, I'm not afraid of that. But to be in like a zombie apocalypse, that would be absolutely the most terrifying thing to actually go through. Humanly aspect, you know, looking at that. like I said, like through that movie, like it wasn't scary. It was, you know, your basic zombie thing, but what actually made that movie really scary was the fact of how they had the smarts to sort of like dogpile each other and use that as like a way to get to someplace. You know what I mean? If there was like somebody that they wanted to infect or eat or bite or convert, just the way that they would climb each other and scale as if, you know, that was the only thing motivating them. That was scary. And the fact that they were all runners was another scary thing, you know? Like when you see movies like you know, all the Romero movies.
It's too quiet.
You know, Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Living Dead. You know, when you see movies like that, you got like different variations of zombies. It's one thing. Or like Shaun of the Dead or anything like that. You know, where the zombies are like,
what
they don't realize that they're zombies, but they're not as active as some of them are. Like these zombies, they run at you, and that's what I think is more scary. The fact that they would, you know, try to get to you that way.
We have to help them.
The road is blocked. Museum is the quickest way through.
Hello? Do you read me? We're on our way to your crash site.
Let's regroup and keep moving.
Gather up, now!
Look out! Creeper! Reloading!
There's a creeper here.
You know, if they ever make another World War Z movie, it would actually be very cool to see how it all started.
Hurry! Regroup!
Or how it became.
We move as a team.
We've got to hurry. We're ready. Let's move.
Where are you, creep?
I remember these paintings.
Maybe one day. He's got me! Creep
Let's keep moving.
Take out this
Oh
creep!
man, where did that guy come from?
That's it. All clear.
Rally before we move on.
That guy AFK.
I found the exit.
C4 for a door.
Have a look at this.
It's locked. The code is on the wall. I'm going to try the code. Have a look at this.
Should work. Damn it! What happened?
Code is right. Panel says unlocked. System's locked for 2 minutes.
We need time. Stick together.
Like, seeing stuff like that, that is crazy.
Sensors and shut them down.
We move as a team. What's in here?
Yeah, yeah, it kind of sucks that they... I mean, you know, I think originally that's how they were... It was supposed to be intended, but when they brought the game out, you know, they didn't realize
This is it.
that they messed up on that. So... But I mean, it's good. It makes you play the game. And that's the thing, you know. You don't want it to be too easy.
Today's a good day.
Sensor panel! Over here!
Decimated.
Today is a good day.
What key is he talking about? Get back! We can't hold them much longer. Turn off the panel.
That's it. Head for the door.
Got to hurry.
Wait, am I going the right way? No, I'm not. Alright, I guess it doesn't matter.
Creeper! Creeper down.
Yeah, when I leveled up my exterminator class, I wasn't leveling up my character. Even when I was buying new upgrades, I wasn't leveling up. The only way that I was leveling up is now that I've switched to Gunslinger, my character has been moving up.
This ground is unstable, so we must hurry.
Hey, lady, we've got to go. Now.
Please, you have to help him.
It's too late for him, child.
What's in these crates? These are rations. Food. Fuck. We can't leave without this.
Defenses. Excellent.
What is your name?
Svetlana?
Svetlana, stay inside the chopper. Team, gather weapons and defenses. Hurry!
Why the hell were you flying into Moscow?
A rescue. We lost a team near Red Square.
I'm sorry, they'd never survive there.
No! They sent a distress call an hour ago.
Idiots will run right into it.
Oh, no more defense kits? Oh. Interesting. Normally there's like a lot of defense kits everywhere. One there.
Reloading! Take out his creep!
Check this out.
Alright, nobody wants to initiate. I'll initiate.
Swarm inbound! The shipping containers!
Why would you just come up right behind me and shoot me?
I see a gas bag. Reloading. Rest in peace.
Take down the bull!
Guys, the bridge! Covers that approach!
Like, can you imagine seeing something like that in real life? That would be ridiculously crazy.
For God's sake, keep them back!
Today is a good day.
Bumashka here. State level by the museum. We see you.
Keep them off the chopper! Okay. Okay, it's clear.
Meet at the helicopter. We've got to get the supplies out quickly.
Coming to you.
Sveta, you still with us?
Yes, I'm here. I'm alive.
Get the supplies and head to the church. Sveta, you'll come with us.
I need to find our team.
Red Square is no man's land. We'd never make it.
There is a chance. I cannot leave them.
I don't want to imagine what insane would be like on this stage.
And you're a smart man.
Or even this
But you're
next stage that's coming up. I find that this stage is like the worst. The worst stage. Like everything comes at you at different angles. And everything. See, before my character level was like 33, now I'm 45. It's just a class. Like, you gain levels for this. I think before the way that they had it is that you would just gain experience every time that you would play, and your character level would rise up, and leveling up this would only be just for the particular class, I think. But now with the patch, they made it where in order to raise your level, you gotta pick one of these classes and level up all these classes. And then same with the weapons. Like I kind of lucked out with my shotgun because I bought it the moment it got up to level 5. But majority of these are I've been trying to level up as much as I can. It makes it harder a little bit. It does kind of suck when you're trying to level up a weapon and you're like already you can't gain the experience for it because you haven't gotten the other two. So certain things like that does kind of suck, but like I've been trying to level up this and I'm already at level 4. So I finally just got up to there so I can get this upgrade. But if it doesn't add any more, I'm wondering why there's a point for all of this. Because like, this seems like the same level. Alright, I'm probably gonna play this last level and then call it a night. And then I'll probably pick up again tomorrow. Try to level all this stuff up. Because I really want to get back to playing insane mode, but I want to be like fully stocked up and see which class is the best class to use. And then yeah, if you ever get this game on PS4, you know, look me up, send me a friend request. And then we can probably try to get a team together. And then that way we can communicate. And really do good. Instead of like, I mean, I kind of lucked out with this team. This team is, they know what they're doing. Even though it is on easy.
It's where the distress call came from.
They know what they're doing, but
you and your team stay in
to be honest, insane, like, we really gotta band together.
When it's safe.
So it's like really weird, like, there was a guy, that would legit just run into zombies, get two-shotted, and then die. And it was like, what was the point of that? Like, that, you know, that doesn't make sense. Why would you do that to your team? Like, he would legit run through here. Oh boy.
There was a battle here. No survivors yet. Where are you, creep?
What's in here?
I'm gonna get trapped.
Look out! Creeper!
Oh my god, Annabelle.
Keep your eyes open for a creep.
I'm reloading. Dr. Petrova, we've located your team's truck. I'm afraid there's no one left.
I need to see. I'm coming in.
It's safe for now. Bumashkov, hurry.
We're coming in.
We're at the end of the long corridor. There's a creeper near. I can feel it.
Rotten hell.
Make it quick.
What are you looking for?
They had a key. A metal disc with indentations.
A key to what?
The mission was to activate a defense protocol beneath the Kremlin. A nerve agent. In case of foreign occupation, nerve gas will be spread throughout the main city.
You'll use it on the Z.
Good day, if I can get to it. Screamer is calling!
We'll keep the Zeke off you, but be quick.
Something is here, I can feel it. It's a bull! We got the bull! Reloading!
Don't shoot!
Take out this gas bag!
Stinks. This place was used by the Resistance.
We should check behind the locked doors. Maybe they left something. I'll see what I can find. Coming out. We'll watch your back.
Something's wrong. Thank the Lord. I'm reloading!
Alright, well, thank you for hanging out. And, yeah, like I said, if you get this game, you know, send me a message or a friend invite, and let's do this up.
The bull is down.
But, yeah, you have a good night too. You know, again, thank you for hanging out. It was great chatting. And I should be on again tomorrow if you're down to hang out. Just let me know.
This is going to get attention. We need to leave now.
No, I can't leave until I find it.
This place is a death trap. Look outside. We're living in hell, struggling every day to keep our miserable lives.
Yeah, we need to do that. And I'm definitely going to broadcast that as well. So it should be even more fun.
What's the point of anything?
Immortalize it, you know what I mean?
We must take a stand.
Quiet. Let's do this the easy way.
Something is here, I can feel it.
Throwing a grenade!
Watch your fire!
Reloading!
Shooting!
It's not here.
Could it be anywhere else?
There's no radio here. They must have sent the distress call from somewhere else.
The mall is right above us. Maybe it's there.
All right. Let's make it fast. Stay here.
I thought
Reloading.
I'm opening the door. I'm in the tavern. Someone check behind the bar. More likely to find a drop of vodka in a church.
Watch your fire!
Something is here. I can feel it.
Take out this creep! I'm reloading.
Gasbag is dead.
This is taking too long. We need to find the radio.
Somebody kill this thing! Screamer! The Screamer is dead. We're wasting time. We have to find the radio. Ah! Grenade! The window smashed open. We got the boom! What's in here?
There's a radio truck out here.
Hey, see that cable? Goes into the mall.
All clear. Look out! Creeper! Not bad.
I'm inside the mall, looking for the radio. Jewelry, fur coats, come on! Where's the fucking gun store? Where are you, creep?
Take out this creep! End of the line, creep.
That's disgusting.
Kill that gas bag!
Over there! Caught me by surprise.
I don't see a radio downstairs. Going up.
There's a creeper here. I can feel it.
Look out! Creeper! Reloading!
Hey, watch your shots!
I see the radio. Inside the mall, upper floor. Place is empty.
Take out this creep!
On our way.
Creeper down! I'm reloading! show you the look.
That's it. I've got the key.
Time to go. Wait. This radio. We should warn people about the nerve gas. Any survivors in the city?
I hadn't even... We have to warn them.
The radio system is locked. The hardware key isn't here.
Where do we find that?
One of the strike team members would have had it.
Start searching!
Reloading!
Got nothing here.
Hold your breath!
Nope, not here.
I'm reloading! Somebody kill that screamer! Screamer down!
Nah, nothing. Keep looking. It's not Got nothing here. Yes! Found the radio key! Here's the radio key.
This will take a few minutes.
Set up guns, voltage grids, mines, whatever you can find.
I see a gas bag! I'm reloading! It's a bull! The bull is down.
Electric grid is online.
End of the line, creep. Reloading! This is it! Rest in peace. Lord, protect us.
All guns on that screamer!
I'm reloading! That screamer is calling in more Zeds!
Knocking them down.
Ready to transmit.
Go ahead.
The screamer...
If anyone can hear my voice, leave Moscow immediately. Do not pack your
Belongings, do not wait. Leave now. The city will soon be engulfed in a deadly nerve gas.
No one will survive. God be with us all.
I set it to repeat. Let's go.
Give them everything we've got. Everybody, back to the sewer.
Look out! Creeper! Kill that gas bag!
My God, I'm good. They've got me cornered. Stop there. Please, someone.
Today is a good day.
Stay with me.
I'm reloading.
God, carry our message to the living.
What makes you think he cares?
How far to the bunker?
Not far.
Alright, so that was my my gameplay. I know I didn't play hard. I didn't change that in the title. I kind of wanted to focus more on trying to level up my character. But it was really good. I'm glad Acrobatic Jesus joined. Really cool guy, very nice to talk to. So I'm glad he came to hang out, and I hope to see him again tomorrow. I hope he gets the game so that we could play it. I think that would be really awesome. Try to set up a team. Yeah, anybody that watches this or plays this game, if you're looking for a teammate, you know, by all means, send me a friend request. State what game that you guys want to play, and you know, I'm down for that. I like to, like I said, I like to stream. I do this purely as a pastime. You know, it's for fun. I love to do this. I love the game, and I like to play with you know, anybody that wants to join me in games that are like this and, you know, be a part of my stream as well. Whether you're in the comment section or you're in the game with me or anything like that. I mean, I think that's cool. And, you know, if you watch this all the way to the end, I know it's almost 3.5 hours into the stream, but if you do and you feel like playing, you know, look me up, send me a friend request. If you feel like you want to subscribe, hey, I'm not going to force you to do it, but if you would like to and you would like to join me in games such as World War Z or say Dead by Daylight or, you know, any type of multiplayer game, you know, I'm always down for it because, you know, gaming is fun. Gaming is fun with people. So I look forward to that, and thank you. Thank you for watching. And tomorrow, hopefully, now that I'm in my second section of the tier for Gunslinger, I'll try hard and try this class on hard and see how well it goes. And we'll take it from there. Once I set up a good team and start getting a good, you know, bunch of good people in here and playing, you know, then I'll switch to insane mode and see how that goes and see if we could tackle that. And yeah, so thank you again for watching, and until next time, I'll see you tomorrow.